Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to
Key West, Florida.
Key West, Florida, or the Conch Republic, depending on,
Your persuasion.
what your persuasion. So in this video, we're going to show you the setup process of a 45-foot Class A diesel pusher coach. So we've already done a few things, as you can tell. We put into a site. So we've been staying here in Key West for 3 weeks at Bluewater Key RV Resort. Cannot recommend it enough.
So great. Yes.
Absolutely amazing. But really what makes it amazing, the people are incredible here. We're actually staying in one of our new friends that we met. He owns 2 different sites here. So we just rented one of his. We stayed 3 weeks in one place, and then there was a weather system coming through. And that's one of the beauties of RV life. You can adapt as you need. So as that storm came through, we basically said, do we want to go? Or what opportunities does this create? And the opportunity that created was for us to be able to rent a site on the ocean. And it was absolutely amazing. What's that?
This will get edited out, but she was making all of her snarkyisms in the mirror.
I didn't know I was in the mirror, but I am.
RV life with kids. That pretty much sums it up right there. Now you guys have been awesome. So they are in the process of setting up things on the inside. We leveled it, put the slides out. Now we're gonna go outside, hook up the water, the sewer, and a couple of other key adjustments that we make as we set up our 45-foot Class A diesel pusher coach. So let's go do it. All right, so a couple of the things that we do when we first set up, especially when it's sunny outside. So we have a magna shade that we put on this massive windshield to help keep the heat out.
It's like a greenhouse.
Yes, and on the inside, you can kind of see, you might be able to see it's kind of sparkly through that. When it's really hot, like today where we're getting direct sun on the front, we actually put Reflectex on the inside, which that's basically like kind of the metal chromy kind of look, plastic
Looks like
foam.
aluminum foil.
Yeah, aluminum foil, and it reflects the sun out, which is super helpful. And to save your windshield wipers, we also have these. We actually have the side magna shades that we have not installed yet. Maybe that'll get done on this trip.
Maybe.
I guess we'll just see. So we do that to keep the heat out. Obviously crank up the ACs when it's this hot outside to keep it nice and cool in there. But a couple of other things we do. You can notice we put out the door awning as well as our patio awning to give a shade on those windows. And then one of the things I like to do, this is actually the pole that came with the magna shade. These little rubber seals are very important to keep bugs and other things that you don't want in your coach out. The nice thing is there are actually multiple seals. So it's not like this is the only seal, but I like to keep these as nice as possible. So you want to treat them probably every 3 to 6 months just to make sure the rubber doesn't get super dry and crack and then you have to replace them. So you just keep conditioning them. I'll share a link to the product that I use for that in the description so you can check that out. But then what I like to do is use this pole, and you don't like cram it all the way in there, just kind of along the edge here and just kind of straighten it out so it doesn't get all crinkled and so forth. So there you go. So now you've got a good seal, keep the bugs out. We'll just walk along here, do the same thing on the back one. And you can see this one actually, typically they come out pretty good. It just depends on weather, and if it's cold, that's a little different. But anyway, just kind of come up here, kind of fix that guy, just like that. Make sure there's a good seal, and we're good to go. All right, we'll keep walking around. We just do that on each one of the slides. Again, we've got 3 slides. That's the full slide out. This is our bedroom slide out. That looks perfect. This guy, a little adjustment, but not too bad. Again, just trying to keep the rubber seals as nice as possible. This one looks perfect. Very good. And last one. All right. This one needs a little more help. So you just kind of put it in there, kind of just twist a little bit to kind of let the rubber come loose. And there you go. Good to go. So those rubber seals, super important, especially if you're here in Southwest Florida. We try not to come here when it's like, crazy mosquito season, but you definitely want to try to keep the critters out as much as possible, and this is a great way to do that. So now what we're gonna do is set up water and sewer. And when we first got into RV life, this was one of the areas where I was like, there were so many products out on the market. Knowing what to buy, and you read, it's like having a child. Really buying a big coach like this or an RV is kind of like buying a child. There's so many people that tell you need all these things, and then you have your kid and you're like, yeah, I needed about 10 to 20% of that. So what RV life is very similar. You can buy a ton of stuff, and we've done some of that. However, we have found some really good, inexpensive things that will filter your water, will condition your water, as well as will help you manage the water pressure because you don't want to blow out the water pipes in your coach. So we're going to show you some of those things. And also, if you're moving a lot, like on our first trip, we were out for 105, 108 nights. I don't know how many different places. I think the max or the most we stayed in one place, actually, original plan was like, what, 5 days?
Yeah.
We were moving a ton.
We moved about every 3 days. Our longest stay was a 5-day, and we only did that maybe twice.
Yes. And you don't want to be unscrewing things all the time. So quick connects, all those little things. There are so many things that you have to do to transition from one site to another. So you want to make it as easy and stress-free and decisionless as possible. So we're going to show you some of these things in this video as well. So let's go check it out. So we have already connected power. That is, once we get into a site, we make sure we're lined up good, and then we connect power. So one of the things when you connect power, I'll just show you a couple of things, is when you come in, you want to open the power pedestal. Number one, be careful when you open the power pedestal, because in some places, this is a place bees love to make nests. So you just want to kind of, be a little cautionary. Then you want to look at the breaker, and you want to make sure the breaker is off for your 50 amp, or if you have a 30 amp, whatever you have. So you want to make sure it's off. Then you grab your power cord. You plug that into a surge protector. I cannot recommend a surge protector enough. I've heard horror stories of people who basically zap the electrical systems in their coaches, and that is a very, very expensive fix. So while this is going to run you between $300 to $400, that is way cheaper than having to redo a lot of the electrical in your coach. So what I do is I plug the power cord into the surge protector into here, and then flip the breaker on. And then what this does is it actually makes sure you have a good signal. We've been in multiple places where the signal was like surging and whatever, and this basically kills the connection. We've used two different versions of this. I really like the Power Watchdog. The other one we have, which I carry two. We were in a place where we only had one and it went bad. And kind of the idea, if you have two, you have one, and the surge protector is one of those areas. I want to have two. So this is actually like the first one, but we had one of these go bad. It actually got water inside. So it wasn't sealed very good. But anyway, we ended up buying this one and then decided, you know what, let's carry two. So we got the Watchdog. I'm probably going to sell this one and get another Watchdog. They have a new generation now that's a little bit more watertight. Just more water friendly, I guess I would say. So we're going to check that out. But this is a good one as well. But we did have one go bad. So there's your public service announcement.
It went bad because it got full of water.
Yeah, and we were in like 5 days of rain.
Yes.
And it just got rained on and rained on and rained on. And they say that they should be, pretty water sealed, but in our instance it wasn't. We literally pulled into a site and like water was dripping out the outlet here. So not on this one. That one has since gone on, but these guys are good too. But again, I really like the Watchdog. I like the phone aspect of it, where I can monitor the power and all of that from my phone. Not that I do that a lot, to be perfectly honest, but as a tech guy, I kind of like doing that.
Yeah, you can.
All right, so let's get everything out. We'll kind of show you what we do. So these are just extra parts. I love these bags that you can see through. Got these on Amazon. We'll share the link below. But inside are these guys right here. And I love these, this company, Gardena. They are a little bit more expensive, but I have not had a single one of these go bad on me. And I carry a lot of different versions. They've got the plastic versions, the metal versions. So anyway, we'll talk a little bit about those. One of the things that I would encourage you to carry with you This is a water pressure gauge. Our last trip that we were on, we stayed at some sites where like our water pressure was just awful. And I didn't know if it was something on our coach or if it was actually the water pressure at the park. Key West, great example. We were here last year, stayed at a park. I wouldn't have known unless our neighbor told us, yeah, the water pressure is here awful, just fill up your tank and go off your tank. Well, now I can actually measure it at every campsite we go to before I hook up to know exactly what I'm getting into, to know, is the water pressure bad? Do I have a filter that needs replaced? Is there something else going on? This guy, the measurement, and again, Amazon, I'll link it up. Massive peace of mind. Now, whenever we go to a site, I literally plug this in, see what the water pressure is before I even hook up. Okay.
And we'll insert here that Bluewater Key has really great water pressure.
They have amazing water pressure. The previous site that we stayed at, and we're not going to mention their name, they literally told us, oh no, every campground in the Keys has water pressure. That's not true. This site, I think up there, we were lucky to get like 25
Yeah, it was so low.
PSI, and here I think we're like 80 something. So absolutely amazing. All right, another thing we do is we carry bins. So you're gonna have water, you're gonna have sewer, you're gonna have power, you'll have like a additional storage bin. So this is our water bin. I'll show you more about that in a second. But these are Home Depot Husky bins. Love them. They are like
them all under the coach.
Yes, our entire storage system underneath the coach is these guys. But water bin, then obviously, and this may not be obvious, so I'll state the obvious. You want your separate sewer bin. You don't want to be mixing your water, your fresh water, with sewer related things. So keep a separate bin for that. One of the other things I do, and you want to have, this is not, I remember when I first started watching RV related videos, they made it sound like this was optional. It is not optional. This is basically a sewer line weight. So you're gonna, if you're traveling a lot, there's a lot of different campsites. Some of them are nice like this, where the sewer outlet is actually down close to the ground. Some of the times they're like 8 inches off the ground. So your sewer hose is actually coming up and going in. It could easily fall out. You want one of these to keep it in, because you don't want to go out to empty your black tank in the middle of the night, not see that it's not connected to the sewer, and
Oopsie.
Praise the Lord, we have never had a poopsie or any of those experiences. So you want one of these guys. Again, I'll link it up. This is from Amazon. I just filled it with some rock and it's absolutely fantastic. All right, the next thing is this Sidewinder. And basically what this does is it runs underneath your sewer hose, and it really has multi-purpose. It's actually super helpful depending on your site to make sure the sewer hose is running down.
Gravity.
But honestly, more so than that, it's keeping your sewer hoses out of junk. There could be mud, you could get a bunch of rain, you could have all kinds of stuff. This is a whole lot easier to clean up than your sewer hoses. So this can be really nice as well. All right, so this is going to be, man, it's a little toasty out here.
As he's
A little
wearing
toasty.
black.
I am. I'm sorry, that's my work uniform. All right, so what I'm gonna share with you now is something that we got for one reason, but actually it really, like the coach really likes it, specifically the appliances on the coach, and that is a water softener. So there's a lot of different water softeners out there. There are really, really expensive ones. We actually went with kind of the mid-grade one. I feel like it's in the $150. Don't quote me on that price. Again, we'll link it all up below. But this is just it's a Camco water softener, and this thing is awesome. Number one, if you have ladies in your RV, they will love that they will have softer hair.
Yes, I'll vouch for that.
So that
And
is very
skin.
important, very important.
Hair and skin.
But this is also fantastic for your water lines as well as your appliances. So knock on wood, we have not had any issues with any of the appliances in our coach, and we've pretty much run soft water in our coach practically from day one. The other big benefit of this is that we can regenerate it just based on table salt you can buy at Walmart. So a lot of these water softeners, like you have to buy a proprietary regeneration solution. We are going to make a video on how to regenerate it, because you will want to do that depending on how much you use, probably every 30 days or so. That's what we do. Again, we have 4 people on
Yeah.
board taking showers and all that. But it's awesome. You literally just take the lid off while you empty all the water out. Again, separate video, but you can completely regenerate this just from table salt that you can buy at Walmart. And when we choose products to buy, we want to choose products that are going to be super accessible from us, either one on Amazon, but there's going to be times, especially if you're moving a lot, playing that Amazon shipping game can be a little crazy. So like if we can buy it at a Walmart or an Ace Hardware or even a local store, that is definitely something we want to do. So we've got our water softener. I'm going to go bring it over here. All right. So those are all the major things. One last thing I will share, and yeah, we're going to use this guy, is we try to flush our black tanks at least at every campsite. I've actually started, because I like to leave our gray tank open so I don't have to monitor that all the time. A lot of times if you smell something in your coach, it's actually not your black tank. A lot of times it's your gray tank that people forget. Oh yeah, there's like grease and stuff in there from your sink. I probably should treat that. But I like to leave our gray tank open. We do treat the gray tank. It's awesome. But I use this hose. So this is a dedicated hose specifically for our black tank flush. I don't use this for anything else. This doesn't get used for fresh water. This is just used for the black tank. I have another hose exactly like this one that we use for fresh water if we ever need it. So keep that in mind.
And you keep that in a different location.
And I do. So that is actually in a completely different bin, so I don't accidentally grab the wrong hose. You want your sewer stuff and your fresh water to be completely separate from each other.
And then a note on your gray tank. It took us a while to figure out if you are smelling your gray tank in the coach, fill it. Just close it up and fill it.
Yes.
And it will fix the problem.
It'll fix the smell. So there's really 2 reasons you could get a smell. Number 1, your gray tank, like we've talked about. The other thing is sometimes if somebody like next to you dumps their black tank, like that, you can get some of those fumes that kind of like come back up through the sewer system. So anyway, just keep those things in mind. But we have had 0 issues with our tanks. We'll talk about tank management. That could be a whole nother video, but literally 0 issues. We just stay on top of it. Super simple process. Use some great products. Okay, let's get to it. Let's get the water hooked up. Okay, let's move this over here. All right, so again, first thing, actually, I'm not gonna do it here because we just stayed at another site and just moved over here. So I know they have like 80 water pressure. So we're 100% good. With that said, that can blow your water lines out depending on what you have. For us, we try to stay right around 60. We could actually probably go a little bit higher, but I like to stay a little bit on the conservative side, not too much, put too much pressure on the PEX fittings. So what I start with then is this guy right here. So I will put all the parts and pieces to this bad boy because there's actually 4 different products here, okay? So there's the Y connector. This is awesome. This is the side that I go out for flushing the black tank. So again, Y connector. We learned this kind of the hard way. This is a water pressure gauge. Even for your black tank, you need to have a water pressure gauge. So I think this one's like 40 to 50 PSI. Do you remember when we had that? It was like we had a back flush. I think we were in St. Augustine. And Randy, amazing RV tech, there was like, yeah, you still need to make sure you have, and we haven't had any issues since then. So water pressure gauge, and then again, one of those Gardena quick connects. Makes it super easy. I had them on the hose, as you could see earlier. So literally, I don't have to unscrew, screw anything. I just come, connect that, and then it did connect actually. Super easy, super fast to do that, okay? So we've got on this side that I use for flush, again, the Y connector. I can control the water on either of these. I've got the water pressure gauge, and then I have the quick connect. On this side, I have a water pressure gauge as well. This is where our fresh water goes into the coach. There are so many of these. I'll link up to the one that we use. And I'll just say that you want convenience and you want speed. So the first one I had, you had to have a screwdriver to twist, which means, okay, I'm going inside or I have to leave a screwdriver down here. This one is awesome. You literally just pull that out. You can add water pressure or subtract water pressure, and it's super easy to use. So let's go ahead and get this connected. One thing, okay? One pro tip, before you connect any of your equipment to the water system, wherever you stay, just let the water, sometimes there can be sediment in the line, and you want to get that out because you don't want that going into your system. So just turn on the water pressure. Ooh, that one's a good one. Okay, so obviously any sediment that was in there, it's gone. Now we're going to go ahead and connect what I just showed you. And sometimes these guys can be a little feisty. Got to get it lined up just
This is really
right.
the only thing that you thread on. Is that right?
It really is, yep. And some people will even do like a quick connect here. I've thought about doing that and I totally could, but honestly, I'm just so used to doing this now. But that would be an upgrade, honestly. I probably should do that. Okay, so next what we do is we have this little hose. This will come with your water softener. What can you see here? Quick connects. There's a quick connect off of here. There's quick connects on here. Makes it crazy easy to do. Okay, so, oh, sorry, forgot one thing. This is a really important thing. This is an inline water filter, okay? We have a 45-foot Class A diesel luxury coach that has an onboard water filter, actually multiple. We have one in the refrigerator, and there's what's called a house filter. On our last trip, that house filter caused us so many issues on the trip. And I come to find out, most guys who own these coaches actually remove them because they have issues with them as well. Yes, and they're just more difficult to change. Like getting that. Anyway, long story short, we removed ours, and we use inline water filters that are super easy. We do not use the standard ones that a lot of people use, and this is not going to be a micron video, but we buy the Clear 2.0 with the smallest amount of micron possible. Love them. We've used them since the beginning. Our water tastes good. We have zero issues. When you can tell your water pressure is starting to get lower in your coach, that's when you know, okay, we need to switch out the water filter. And all you have to do is go out, unscrew this one, plug a new one on, run a couple gallons of water through it, and you'll see when it's clear, hook the system back up, and you're ready to go. So we'll hook up the inline water filter. Okay, and then from there, we will hook up the water softener. Again, we're gonna go from the filter, and it even tells you like the arrow, okay, which side, so the water is gonna flow this way. We're gonna plug that in. Then even on the side, I don't know if a lot of people even notice this, but on the side of the water softener, the Camco water softener, it tells you what direction the water should flow. So just like here, it has an arrow on which way the water should flow through the filter. The same is true for the water softener. So now we're ready to hook it into the coach. All right, so this is our water bay. And it's awesome. This is one of the things I love the most. There are many things I love about this coach, but this is one, the way that they have engineered the water bay where like every line comes in here. So if something happens to any, all you have to do is come right here and look to see what's going on. So now we're gonna hook up water. We'll open the little bay. We've got a hose reel, which is so nice. I see people like doing their water hose things, and this is just so nice. I hit a button, it goes up. One little thing that I do is whenever I am putting in the water hose, I always have a microfiber towel like this that I'm using, and it's like cleaning it off as it's going into the reel to keep it clean. I do the exact same thing with the power cord there as well. So we're gonna bring this out. What I do, so this can be really frustrating, is I bring a little bit out because you don't want to get this kinked. Our very first night in the coach, we had water pressure issues, and it's because I was an idiot, and this thing was kinked because of how it went through the water port here in the water bay. So you take a little bit out like this, you feed it in, it'll kind of curl through, and that's how you know, okay, now I'm good. See, no kink. Super easy. It's like literally working with the hose, the memory of the hose. So then I'm just gonna pull out a little bit more, pull it through, and we're gonna be pretty stinking close. Let's see.
You're just pulling enough for what you think you need?
Yeah, so don't undo the whole thing for sure. So I'll just do kind of a little bit at a time, make sure there's no kinks, because again, that can create a really not great experience. So one of the things I do turn on, or have to twist on, is at the end of our water hose. So we don't want water running into the water bay when we're driving down the road. So this has a nice cap on it because, again, our water hose is always connected directly into the ports. So all I have to do, unscrew that, screw this quick connect on, and we are ready to go. So that is how you do that. I'm not a huge fan. Okay, so this is where I probably get a little ADD. I do not like running water over power. Not that there's any issue with it. I just don't like doing it necessarily. So what I will always do is kind of run it and kind of try to keep it out of the way from that and plug it in. Okay, so now we have fresh water hooked up from the coach. So what I'll do now is actually turn on the water. Here at the campsite, you can hear the water running through. One thing to keep in mind, and I learned this the hard way and actually had to replace a sewer hose. So this is actually the exhaust for our AquaHot system. It is hot coming out of there, as you can imagine, because it's heating up the water, and that's where the exhaust from the burners come out. You want to make sure that your freshwater hose, never had any issues with that, thank goodness, because that'd be a whole lot more expensive to fix. But I have had sewer hoses get melted because they were too close to that. So whenever you do that, you can kind of look under here and see it is far enough away from that. It's not crossing over electrical, which again, you're probably fine. I just don't like to do it. So that is that. So now all I'll have to do, go into our water bay. So we are currently on, why don't you come in here? You can kind of see the settings. So we have 3 different settings. We can fill the tank, which we have a 100-gallon freshwater tank on board. So we can fill the tank. Right now we're on tank water because we're just hooking up, and then we have city water. When I flip this over to city water, it goes from connecting the water to the tank to connecting to the city water outlet. The one thing you want to make sure you do is turn off your water pump. Because if you don't do that, when you flip it over, it's going to kick on your water pump and try to build pressure. So all you have to do on this coach, which is really nice because I can control it all from this door, I just come in here, turn it off like that. So the water pump is off, flip it to city water, and done. Now we're officially on city water.
You talk about plugging up where
Yes. So one thing you absolutely want to do, we were in Naples, and our neighbors were coming over, and they told us they're from Texas, and they had critters, mice in particular, get into their coach and shoot up their electrical system. You don't want that. Let me just say you don't want that. And the easiest thing you can do is make sure that anything that you have, like these little, like this is like the little water bay door that the hose goes through. You can see here, it does have a little like door. However, it's not perfectly sealed. So what I do is, this is just like foam that you would use to seal up windows if you had like a window air conditioner in your house or something like that. Super easy. All I do is grab that, put that in there, put it down, and just kind of shove it down where it's like perfectly sealed. There is nothing getting in there. And I'll do the exact same thing when we do the sewer hose. Some coaches have like padding around it, but over time that can wear out. So even this is really nice for that. So I'll show you kind of that when we go through that process there as well. But ultimately, that's hooking up water. And for us, there's been a lot of new water systems, filtering systems that are really good. We'll probably end up testing some of those eventually. But we really, really like this Camco system. Again, specifically because we can regenerate it with just table salt. And it's been really great. So, okay, let's do sewer. Sewer is super easy. This is a fantastic site. Thank you, Keith. He is the owner of this site. If you ever see this video, thank you. It was awesome meeting you. And we love meeting community members or even people who don't even know about us as we travel. So if you see us, please come introduce yourself. We'd love to meet you. So this site is fantastic because literally I'm going to go from that bay to right here, and I think it's just going to be one sewer extension. So we use the Camco It's the Rhino sewer line, whatever. Again, I'll link it up below. It'll link to our Amazon store or wherever you can check it out. I remember the first time I heard somebody say carry 3, and I was like, no way. I'm not carrying 3 of those things. And then we stayed at a campground in St. Louis, which if you're going to go see the St. Louis Arch, I'd recommend it. It's DraftKings, and you can literally see the St. Louis Arch front. So that's the pros.
That is a no frills campground. Okay?
No, yes, no frills campground.
You're there to see St. Louis.
If you're there in the summertime, get ready to bake. But I was so thankful I had 3 sewer hoses, because it literally went from here way past the back end of our coach. I mean, it was probably, let's see, how many feet would that have been?
It was like,
I'm guessing 25, 30 feet from here at least. So carry 3.
You're rarely going to use the 3rd.
And you'll rarely use the 3rd, but the one time you need to use it, you're going to be glad you used it, because the amount of work to move your coach, just do it. Just carry 3. So we do carry 3, even though I'm only going to grab one out right now. Okay, and perfect. I grabbed the one that I actually melted, a little bit. So this is the one that got a little bit too close to the exhaust of the AquaHot, so you can see it's still usable, but not perfect like it should be. Okay, so a couple things with these. You want, if yours doesn't come with these sewer caps, get them. Just get them. You do not want, while you're going to do your best to keep these things as clean as possible, just get sewer caps. Let me just say, I'll spare you all of the gross parts, but sewer is running through this. So cap them up. Obviously, you're going to drain your black tank before you leave a site. You're going to rinse your black tank before you leave a site. A big part of the reason you rinse your black tank is to clean these things out. So, but even with that said,
they might not.
You don't want that just open air in your basement, we call it, in the storage down here. So get these caps. Camco sells them, 1 for each end. Highly recommend. Check that out. Okay.
And we're going to say a note here about gloves.
Yes.
You're not wearing them.
Yes. So I wore gloves for how many trips? 2 trips?
At least.
And then I quit wearing them. And there's part of the reason, multiple reasons. Number one, I'm not saying this is what you should do. So you make your decision of what you feel comfortable with. For me personally, I have done this so many times. I know when I'm doing this, there's a reason I did the freshwater first. You don't do sewer and then do freshwater. I do my freshwater first. My hands are clean. There's no chance of whatever. Okay. Then I do the sewer last. So then when I'm done, what I immediately do is I go in and wash my hands. I also know, don't touch your eyes. Like the biggest risk of this whole thing, I mean, there's probably multiple risks, but one that you hear about most often, it's people getting pink eye. And I've had pink eye when I was a kid, never doing this. So if you feel comfortable wearing gloves, I recommend the black latex gloves that we get from Walmart. I forget the brand. We'll link it down below. Depending on the situation, I might use them, but honestly, I've done this so many times now. It's just one more step. And if you're a pro glove person, feel free to share the reasons below. Maybe you'll convert me back into wearing gloves. Probably not, but we do still carry gloves because there are times where you're going to need them, you're going to want them. However, for me, this is how I do that. All right, so where I start is a couple things actually. So again, we're not going to use this right now because we already flushed it this morning. But again, this is only used to flush the black tank. It is not used for fresh water. I actually have 2 of them, a longer one. That guy I think is 25 to 50 feet. And then I actually have a smaller orange hose as well that's like 6 feet. So if we're like really close to it, then I don't have to get the whole hose out. That's really nice. Okay, so the parts and pieces here. Let's get the hose connected. So pretty simple on our coach. There's the little bay door down here for the sewer line. One of the things you want to make sure you do before you leave a site, make sure these guys are closed. That could just be an unwanted surprise. So both our gray tank as well as our black tank are closed up. This is the cap on our flush, so we're gonna go ahead and just screw that off. You notice this thing is like bone dry. There's nothing in there because it's all capped up. Now, these seals can go bad. Keep that in mind. They can go bad. However, we've never had that happen. Praise the Lord. So I'm gonna grab our hose. This is the side that connects to the flush, and I'll show you what I do. I put that there on purpose. So this is the cap. I'm gonna put it down through. Again, touching the outside, not coming in contact with any of the fluid that's been through there, just touching the outside of it. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is close the door. And we're gonna come over here. We don't really need this here, but I do it. The one time I don't do it is the one time the thing is gonna come out of the sewer dump and make for a dumpy day. So we're not gonna do that. All right, so really the main thing that is in this guy is this right here. And I'm gonna be very careful with this. And it's kind of gross. So this is a clear kind of L connector. And this is how I can see what's coming through when we go to the dump. So there's a rubber gasket, which is nice because it can actually fit 3 different sizes, which you will have all kinds of sizes when you visit campgrounds. And then this thing actually disconnects, which it's been in there for so long, it's pretty much one piece, so I'm just gonna let it be. But then there's the L connector, and you want clear because you do want to see like what is going down. Is it clear, or do I still have issues in my black tank? So having that is super nice. Then I'm going to come over here. I'm going to twist off the sewer dump. I'm going to put that in there. Yeah, most of the times it's that standard size, and that has created an incredible seal. There's like 3 rings, and then inside those rings, there's like little rings around those rings. And it creates a really, really good seal when you connect it down into the sewer outlet. So one other thing that I carry, I'll share with you guys, is a sewer wrench. Rhino sells these, Camco, and these are nice. We have been in campgrounds where that thing, the top of that is on there so tight, and to be able to have something like this, to be able to twist it off right inside of our sewer is super nice. So by the way, you see anything dripping off there, I just rinsed a bunch of stuff off, so it's good.
Settle down.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so that is that. Now, let's take our hose, and the reason I set this here, I'm gonna take this guy off, okay? And I am going to twist him on here. So now anything that was on side or inside that one, now it's all contained in here. And then I'm just gonna set him right in the bay. We're gonna extend this guy down here. See if he's gonna be long enough. Whew, whew, that was close. And we're gonna twist him on. And now our sewer is connected. Man, that's almost too tight.
Wow.
I think we're gonna be okay with the sewer line. So, with the Sidewinder. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab this guy. And these things can kind of be a pain sometimes. What I do is I just put them in the middle, and then I kind of extend them this way and extend them this way. And it's actually a pretty simple, easy process. That was like literally the perfect length. I almost had to eat some humble pie there. I would have totally done it too. I am not a pro RVer. We've done this a lot, but man, if there's one thing that RV life will do for you, it will humble you real quick.
It keeps you humble.
It does. Okay, so you can see we are completely connected from the sewer outlet in the coach. Whew, man, it's warm.
Yeah. So then you're going to take the weights and put that where?
Yes, so number one, I'm gonna make sure this guy is connected down to here. And then I'm gonna grab the weights and I'm gonna put them on top of this clear part, okay? So it's just literally on this L connector, pushing it down. And that's what we're gonna do. You can still see, you know, what's going through it in the L connector, but that's how that works. Okay, so sewer completely hooked up. We have it connected to the coach, connected to the dump. We've got the Sidewinder elevating it. Everything is good. So now a couple last things. Number one, we're gonna put everything away when we're done. But one step that could make a difference between a massive headache and not is this right here. So number one, you don't wanna lose these. Again, I connected those. I'll just put those right here. The other thing is this little guy that I was telling you about. So again, this is just, you can buy this at Home Depot. Insulation you'd put in a window if you had a window air conditioner. And I use this and I just wrap it around the bottom here. You can kind of see, and literally seal off the hose. So there is no little critters gonna get in and around our sewer hose. You're literally sealing off like an expressway for these guys, because they'll just crawl up on here, go right up into your coach, and you do not want that. So highly recommend you do that. That 10 to 20 bucks could save you thousands of dollars. So we're all set up. Water, sewer, we are good to go. Oh, one thing I will share, and this is, we're not going to get into flushing the black tank in this video. However, one thing that you will want that can also be handy when you are filling your freshwater tank is to know how much water you're actually putting in. So you'll have the gauges. However, when you are flushing, like we have a 46-gallon black tank, but I want to know how much water is going in that black tank because I don't want to mess it up. So this guy is a water gauge to say how much water has actually gone through this gauge and into the tank. So again, quick connector on the end. It's called Resmo. Again, we'll link this up. But when you turn it on, it'll actually tell you. It's like the last time I did it, which was this morning, I put 38 gallons in when I flushed the black tank. But the nice thing is, all I have to do, and the water flows this way, again, it tells you the way it flows. You can come down here and see the black flush right there. So all I have to do is just connect that guy right there. I connect the flush hose that I showed you earlier, and we're ready to flush our tank.
Nice.
And we will make sure we don't put too much water in. Yep. I will say, you still do have to pay attention. Had a little scare on this trip. I thought I put too much water in. Praise the Lord, I was reading it wrong. But that's that. So again, one thing just to keep in mind, if you have aqua hot exhaust or whatever your water heater system is on this side of your coach, make sure you keep all the hoses, water hose, sewer dump hoses away from that so you don't have any issues along the way. So we'll just put things away. Again, they're in their nice little bins. I'll just put it away, put all the little extra parts away. Grab the water bin. And done. So that is how you hook up your fresh water, your sewer, all the tools that we use to make it super fast, especially if you're moving a lot on the trip. You want to make it as easy as possible. So check out the products that we shared. If you have some that you like, please share those in the comments below as well. We'd love to learn from you, but hopefully this has been a help to you. And again, we'll put all of those links in the description. You can check them out. So we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for joining us. If you would like to see additional content, such as our top travel resources and other free tools, be sure to join our free online community at ronanddeborah.com. Before we wrap things up, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Northwest Iowa Community College. NCC has been such a great fit for our homeschool family. They offer flexible learning options online, on campus, or a mix of both, so it's easy to make education work around your adventure. Our daughter Olivia is actually dual enrolled at NCC right now. She's earning both high school and college credits at the same time. It's been such a fantastic opportunity for her to get ahead while still homeschooling. If you're a homeschool family looking for a way to take that next step, NCC is a great option. Small class sizes, supportive instructors, and affordable tuition make it an easy choice. So, if you're ready to start your success story, check out nccbound.com/homeschool. A big thanks to NCC for making videos like this possible. Want to join our next adventure? Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future episodes. See you in the next video.